Welcome to Skyler Jarvis Media.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Skyler Jarvis.
What's up, everybody? This is the Skyler Jarvis Show.
What's so funny, bro?
And I'm your host, Skyler. And today we're going to talk about my birthday.
You didn't even introduce your guest.
We got Carson in here. Carson, shout out.
I'm Carson. Shout out to me.
Yeah.
No, I guess shout out to Skyler Jarvis because yesterday was his birthday.
Yeah. Shout out to Skyler. Shout out to Carson. Shout out to Steve Childers.
Yeah,
if
shout
you're
out.
watching this, shout out, my man.
Shout out.
I really appreciate what you were doing, man, and just
Big
let me get up there and sing a few songs with you and say something.
He's the man. Steven Childers. Let's
Steven
go.
Childers is the man.
Let's
Thank
go,
you so
Steven.
much. Let's go.
Yeah.
Everybody get out and support him.
Everybody get out there and just hand him money. If you see him, you just hand him money.
Exactly.
Not because he's in need, but because he deserves it.
Exactly. Also, shout out to DJ KR. I can't remember all of it, but shout out. His name's
Shout out
Kevin.
to you, man.
Shout out. His
Shout out
name's
to actual Kevin. That's
Shout
his
out
actual
Kevin,
real
man.
name is Kevin.
Shout out Kevin Reyes.
Shout out to him for
Man.
sure. Man, big shout out to you, man.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to DJ V Loco.
Shout out DJ V Loco.
For sure.
Shout out Kingdom of God Broadcasting. Keep
Shout
up
out.
the good work, my man.
Yep.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
So,
And shout out Professional Sofa.
yeah, shout out Professional Sofa.
For sure. Big shout out.
Big shout out. Big shout out. Thank you
Heck yeah.
thank you for the support, man.
Thank you for tuning in.
We
really love you,
We really
truly.
appreciate you. and love you up
Appreciative.
here, man. And
we
you
love
know,
you.
we would really like to get you on the podcast one time. You know, honest to, just to talk about
Honest to God.
like what your experiences are being blind.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would be a really good thing to talk about on the podcast. So me and Carson have been talking, and we're gonna start releasing some shorts on YouTube, and
We're going to do it.
yeah. so what this is gonna be is
This is going to be something
this
that you're
is
going to
be-
enjoy.
Yeah, this is gonna be something everybody's gonna enjoy. It's gonna be like
It's gonna
a
be
teaser,
awesome.
a teaser for Mondays and Fridays before the episodes come out. We're just gonna give you a little sneak peek of what we talk about,
Maybe.
and
Maybe we just might drop a short of a podcast that we already did.
yeah, maybe that too.
Maybe that too.
But
You'll just see shorts. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Is that you'll see short
you're
form
gonna
versions
start seeing shorts
of some
now.
of the podcasts.
Exactly. So
We got enough content now. We can
yeah.
make more content out of the content that we already got.
exactly. So
Exactly.
we're interested in
We're
keeping
interested in
the
you.
fan base interested in Skyler Jarvis Media and Wholehearted
that
Entertainment.
means that we're interested in what you're interested in.
Exactly. So drop your ideas down in the comments. I really want to hear some of y'all's ideas.
Smash that
Smash
like
the
button.
heck out of that like button.
Smash that subscribe button.
Or we're coming after you.
And we're coming after you.
Yeah,
if it doesn't matter if you
It
do it.
doesn't
We're
matter
coming
if you
after
like or
you.
subscribe.
Yep.
We're coming after you.
We're coming after you regardless.
Regardless of what happens.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
nothing.
Dang.
You just gotta be cool and trust
You
that we
just
know
gotta
what we're
be
doing.
cool. Literally. I think that we know what we're doing. So with that being said, we're gonna just jump right into it.
So the Brushy Mountain Brews. Shout out to the Brushy Mountain Brews.
woo,
We're brewing it.
brewing it up.
So shout out to the Brushy Mountain Brews. Shout out Chris Canella.
Shout out.
So he threw a big ass party for me at the Brews, and then
Heck yeah.
Steve Childers,
Steven Childers, he's the man.
Was playing back.
He was playing back to back.
He was playing some really good songs, too.
I know, and he's really good. He's really good at playing guitar, and he's really good at singing.
He is. And I was... So what happened was I was going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And me and Chris were talking, and he'd said something about having somebody sing Happy Birthday to me and have the whole bar. And I'm like, okay. So I'm on my way. I'm on my way to the bathroom,
and somebody grabs you, and they're like, "Happy birthday!"
No, no. I hear somebody. Skyler, where's
what
Skyler?
are you doing, Skyler?
So I run back out there. I'm like, right here.
Like, what do you think you're doing over there, Skyler?
And he goes, somebody told me it's your birthday today.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
It was your birthday yesterday.
So,
technically,
one of my
somebody.
So they sang. So Steve sang "Happy Birthday." The whole bar.
He sang "Happy Birthday" the whole rest of the night.
No, the whole bar was singing "Happy Birthday."
We sung "Happy Birthday" for 4 hours in a row.
No, dude.
Imagine that. That would have been pretty cool. You can't even imagine
that would have been pretty repetitive just for people sitting there, you know.
That's uncomprehendable.
So
it's incredible.
He got done singing "Happy Birthday" and
he sung it again.
And he asked me to come back because I was gonna go to the bathroom, and he called me back again. He's like, "Skyler." So I come up, and Chris was like, "You can hold it. Come on, man."
Yeah, and you didn't need to go that bad.
He came up, he got me up to the microphone, and Steve was like, "Is there anything you want to say?"
Yeah, what did you want to say?
And I just, my mama made a birthday list where I had to say, "It's my birthday, bitches."
Oh, no.
Every time I heard "hey," somebody say "hey."
Did you scream it in the microphone?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Skyler.
So
that is inappropriate.
No, dude. No, dude, listen. We ain't even got to the funny part yet.
I know that wasn't funny, man. That was rude.
No, dude, listen.
Okay.
Honestly, listen, bro.
I'm listening loud and clear.
You ain't heard.
I'm hearing you, but I ain't listening. I see what you're saying. Okay,
I got you. Man.
I got you.
So,
man.
I finally go to the bathroom, but before I get to the bathroom, I hear Steve go, "Now remember, it's Skyler's birthday, bitches."
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there holding on to the freaking door laughing so
You're
hard.
dying laughing. You're crying laughing.
I was.
Honestly. Oh, no.
Dag nab, did he just say that?
He didn't know what to say. He was freaked out a little bit.
Oh, man. He called me as soon as he got home, too.
He said,
we got our contacts, and he's really interested in me drumming the next time he's up there.
Steven's a good guy.
Shout out Steven.
He's a good guy. He bought a painting off of me. I did a commission piece for him.
I think by the end of the night I had him crying.
Dude,
almost.
he bought a painting off me. He got a commission piece, and I made him a guy playing a guitar.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a really cool painting too. Shout out to Steven Childers.
Shout out to Steve Childers.
110%.
He said, "Do you know Carson?" And I said, hell yeah, I know Carson.
He said, "Shoot, yeah, he knows me. I know him."
And he goes, I work with that bastard."
That's right. We're always working on something.
I said, "You work with that bastard, huh?"
All the time. Yeah, we're all the time working on something, man.
He was like, "Yeah, every time, every morning,
every time
Carson,
that I see him,
every time that he sees,
I holler at him.
He's like, hey."
Yeah, I holler at him every single day.
Every day.
Hey, boy.
Yeah, he told me that.
Hey, boy. Hey, boy, what you doing over here, boy? There was a couple times where I said, "Hey, boy." He said, "Hey, girl." And I was like, "Huh?" Like, what? I was like, "Oh, hell no."
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. Or I'll be like, "Hey."
Oh, shoot.
I'll just say, "Hey." Do you ever say hey to people?
Yeah, man.
Do you say hey to everybody that you interact with?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you anytime that you ever notice anybody, you just say hey to them.
Yep.
Well, is there instances where you just say hey, and that's it? Do you ever just holler out of the window, hey?
Yeah.
Of the car, just holler, hey.
I did that with Phil. Like, I think it was like a week ago.
Like your mom would be like, "Hey, there's Phil," and you're driving down the road and you're like, "Hey."
We were going. Chris. He come up one night. It was this past week. He came up to sit at the fire pit a little bit, and we went past Phil's house because he needed to go back to Brushy to do something.
Yeah.
And he seen Phil, and he was like 3, 2. He was like, holler outside whenever whenever I tell you to.
It's like holler over there.
We did, and he noted. He noted.
Shout
out
you.
Phil.
Shout out to Phil.
He said,
shout out to Dr. Phil too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, Phil goes. He said, I thought it was you and Chris hollering at me the other day.
He knew it the whole time.
Yep.
Golly.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I get mad whenever I wave at people and they don't wave back at me.
Yeah, man.
I can't stand that.
You did that to me once.
I know. I waved at you and you didn't wave back, and I was pissed.
I know you was, and then go there. I had to tell you I was blind.
Damn. Well, maybe you should let somebody know next time. Next time they try to wave at you, just be like, "Hey, like, I can't see that.
You waving."
Yeah.
Unless I'm really up close.
Bro, I was dying the other day whenever you came in here and it was dark. It was dark the other day, and you was like looking around to put somewhere to put your bag, and I was like, "What are you looking for, Skyler?" Because I asked you that so I can help you with whatever you're trying to find. I can find it faster for you. And then you're like, I can't. You're like, I can't see. And bro, I started laughing. I was like, God dang it.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, dang.
Because I came in, we got some food, and I was sitting down to eat, and
you was looking for somewhere to put your bag down.
I was looking for somewhere to put my bag down.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't see a damn thing.
Yeah. Oh gosh. You could have just dropped it right there. You didn't want to throw it on the chessboard.
Yeah.
Knock all those damn pieces off.
Yeah, like I did that one time.
Yeah, or a second time or the third time.
I only knocked
it off a few times.
I only knocked a lot of them off that one time, and I was like,
yeah. It's like, damn.
I'm like, damn.
Dang, man. Well, that's all right. Be cool.
The heck were you thinking?
The heck were you thinking, man? What were you thinking, Skyler?
Knocking all them pawns and knights and queens and shit off the board.
Have you ever like knocked down at anything that was like super important that you just like accidentally ran into? And you're like, damn. You're like, damn it. You just heard it shatter or some shit, and you're like, no. And then you just slowly walk away.
There's a lot of stuff. I can't even.
You can't even begin to explain.
I can't even begin to explain. Like,
it's probably so bad, and then you don't, and then you're like, no, and then you just walk away because nobody else seen it.
Yep, either that or you try to hide it so nobody will notice.
You put a blanket over it or something.
No, you just put it in a drawer and never touch it.
And then they're like, why the hell is this broken in the drawer? No. Dang. Dang it, Skyler. You've been a master at that, hadn't you?
Yeah.
Golly, man. I can only imagine what would have happened to my chess
But
pieces.
I don't
You don't do that to
I don't try to
everybody.
intentionally break stuff. That's not my thing.
But if you do, you're throwing it in a drawer, closing it up, and running away.
Nah, dude. There was this frog that my mama had. It was
frog?
a plastic frog, and
It wasn't a real frog.
No, it was a noisy ass one. No,
Really? Well, what
Heck
happened?
Yeah. So what happened was one day I joked to my mom.
He was like, I'm gonna throw that thing
gonna
on the
take
floor.
a damn hammer to that thing. And Mama, one day she just gets it out, and I'm like, "All right, Skyler, now's your chance." And then she asked me, "What song do I want to break shit to?" And of course, I go with "Break Stuff" by Limp Bizkit.
And then what'd you do?
Broke stuff.
Whoa! How much stuff did you break?
Just that frog.
Oh,
Just that.
so she allowed you to
just-
break the frog.
Just like that puny frog.
Is that what it was? She allowed you to break the frog?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I thought you was about to tell me a story about how you picked it up and threw it on the ground. You ever heard "Throw It on the Ground" by Lonely Island?
No.
You ever heard of Lonely Island?
I don't think so. I mean, I might have. I just might not know. See, that's the thing with me. Like the dude you were showing me. A minute ago,
Dracula Flow.
Dracula Flow.
Yeah. You've heard of him.
As soon as I clicked on that video and he started talking, I knew exactly who he was.
Yeah, he goes ham.
Yeah, he does.
Bro, we need to listen to Dracula Flow 5. That's the best one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man.
It evolves. What he says evolves. So like there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I think there might be 6. I don't know.
So when did the last one come out?
I think like 2 years ago.
Oh.
Or maybe even a year ago. Let's see. Shout out to whoever made Dracula Flow. Let's see. Which is insane, bro.
The channel is Dracula Flow. as well?
No, Plum Corp Records. Plum Corp Records is the name of the channel that Dracula Flow is on. But
Okay.
Dracula Flow, there's Dracula Flow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Came out 5 months ago. 5 months ago was Dracula Flow 5. 1
Wow.
year ago was Dracula Flow 1.
Okay, so yeah, they should be.
They
coming
should
up
do
with
something with that.
Yeah.
Y'all need to get it together.
I remember hearing him for the first time. I think it was either my dad or my brother that was playing him, and I was laughing so dagnapping hard. Oh my gosh,
Yeah, listening to Dracula Flow.
Dracula! Yeah,
That guy's a beast.
I think it was Caden that was listening to it.
Really?
Yeah, shout out Dracula Flow. Shout out Plum Corp Records.
Shout out Plum Corp Records. Shout out to Dracula Flow. Shout out to anybody and everybody that's involved with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, what's the basis?
The basis of Dracula Flow.
Just the basis of anything, really.
Gosh, that's out of the blue.
That's a good one, ain't it?
Yep.
What's the basis of it all? Gosh, I stuck you with the good one, didn't I?
Yep.
Man, what's the basis of it all? Nah,
basis
that's
of
too
it all?
much. That's way too much. We just need to be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool.
E.T., be cool.
E.T., phone home. Man, we just watched Edward Scissorhands the other day. You ever heard of Edward Scissorhands?
Yes.
That guy's a wacko, ain't he?
Yep.
Yep. That's a pretty good movie. It was a pretty decent one from what we seen.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was pretty good for like the first half, and then like the last half, I didn't really like it. I don't know what it was.
There's
I don't know
some
what
movies.
it was. I mean, it's an all around good movie and a classic movie, but there's some movies that just from that time. That
There's
were
some movies
so
that
good.
are considered classics that doesn't really live up to it. I mean, they do. They
like
might,
what?
They do, but
What do you mean they don't really live up to it?
I mean, they do. They do, but they
they don't live up to what?
like or that's not.
They
what
don't live up to the hype. Is that what
right,
you're saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is pretty good.
I mean, yeah,
Stuff like that.
There's gonna be classics. I mean, this goes for music, movies, anything. But
Most definitely.
I would just say that a lot of this stuff just
ain't right. A lot of this stuff just ain't right. And I ain't having it. How about that?
Yeah. Be cool, man.
Be cool.
Be cool.
Be cool.
Be cool.
Sometimes we can have classics. Sometimes we can't have classics. There's a bunch of classic movies.
There's a bunch of
games,
classic albums.
Albums. Cars. They consider I think that Nirvana is considered a classic rock band now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Metallica is getting considered like classic metal.
Well, hey, they've been considered that.
Metallica, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden.
Yeah, all the like heavy.
I've never been a big Iron Maiden
metal
fan.
band, not the metal bands, but like the metal the dadgum rock bands, 80s hair bands and shit like that.
Yes.
From back in the day, man, all those guys are considered considered classic rock bands now.
Yeah. A lot of the hair bands ain't around anymore. Or if they are, they're not getting recognized as much.
Yeah, like can you give me an example?
Like Poison. Like you don't.
They're not getting recognized as much.
I feel like they're not. You don't really hear about them in the
did what's
spotlight.
his face? Yeah, well, I mean, what's his face was a big reality TV star here till recently, wasn't he?
The
lead
guy
singer,
the Poison.
Yes.
I did not know about the reality TV show. My mama.
No, your mama definitely knows. I promise
my mama
you.
knows.
I promise you, if you asked your mama about it, she would know.
My mama was a huge Poison fan.
I know that she would know. Dude, what is his name? What's his name again?
Gosh, I can't think of it.
Oh my
Dagnabbit.
gosh, man. He's super duper popular. And he looks like he's my age.
Oh, skinny pop.
He literally looks like he's my age now. Bret Michaels.
Bret Michaels. That's it.
Bret Michaels.
Bret Michaels.
Man, I'm trying to figure out what the name of the what the name of the show was. What the hell was the name of the show? It was called let's see. Bro, what the hell? It was like he dated a bunch of models. He was like dating models.
Wow. Bret Michaels?
Yes.
Wow.
It was a whole show about him dating models.
Wow, man.
It's called Rock of Love with Bret Michaels. But that guy was a freaking pimp.
Very much
I guess
so.
he still is,
Every road.
That's insane,
has its
man.
thorn.
Yeah, bro. Shout out to Bret Michaels, man, for real.
Speaking of
He's always been a pretty boy.
Speaking of reality shows, have you ever seen the Osbournes?
No, I haven't. I seen Gene Simmons.
Oh my god.
Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. I've seen that one.
That's a crazy.
I've seen.
family
Well,
if
I've
ever
seen
one.
bits and pieces of the Osbournes.
That's a crazy.
I've seen bits and
family.
pieces.
That's
Yeah,
a crazy ass friggin' family.
that is a pretty crazy family.
Yeah.
They go pretty wild.
They go ham.
Ozzy
They go
used to be
ham.
stupid wild.
Ozzy, yeah.
I think
Ozzy used to be crazy.
I think that he still gets pretty messed up though. I think that he still does a bunch of drugs.
just
gets them prescribed.
He's prescribed on him. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but should he be prescribed on them? That's the real question.
Lord knows.
Lord knows.
That's between him and
That's between him and God.
yeah. That's between him and God.
Yeah. But shout out to. But you've never seen Gene Simmons' Family Jewels? He's got basically got the same thing.
Kiss.
Yes, Gene Simmons.
I think
he's
my
got a
dad.
whole-
I think my dad had seen Gene Simmons at the.
He had a whole show. I think that
It was
it
a
might
Kiss
still be
tribute,
on.
but I think either he said it was Gene Simmons or somebody that looked like him.
Gene Simmons, Family Jewels. That's what the name of the
Reality show.
reality show was. It has 7 seasons.
Woo! 7 seasons. Good gosh.
Yeah, the show ended in 2012.
2012. Huh?
Yep, it started in 26. I mean, it started in
2006.
2006. Yep.
That's a good year.
Yeah, I can't believe. I kind of want to watch that. I kind of want to watch part of it. I don't like a lot of reality TV shows though.
They can get boring.
Yeah, they can get boring. Well, it's not even boring. It's just that it's unrealistic.
Right.
It's not real. It's like all fake. Like I would say, even
I
during
think the Osbournes was one of the only examples of a reality show being exactly like the Family's was.
I don't think so.
No,
I doubt it.
No, I mean, because it said in his autobiography that they were just being them on the camera.
Yeah,
And
but
dude, there was a time where the camera guy, he told him not to put cameras in the bathrooms. And what do these sneaky bastards do?
they put cameras in the bathroom.
They put small little cameras in the bathroom, and he goes out and he said, "Oi, I told you not to put nothing in my."
Yeah,
Because
started going ham.
You just
Nah, I think that all those reality TV
peeing,
shows.
pooping, scratching your butt.
I think that all those reality TV shows is just, it's not real. None of them are
you
real.
gotta keep all that shit private, man.
Yeah, but
can't
you
have
still-
nobody.
They're still, for sure, but at the same time, like, they still have to make it entertaining.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, they still have to act in some sort of way to make it more entertaining.
but with the Osbournes, I think like from the way they act, just as a family, you could kind of see that happening. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Like Ozzy walking around all drunk and stuff, and
Hell yeah. He does that. Have you
yeah.
ever heard of the movie about Dirt? About Motley Crue?
No.
It's a movie on Netflix. It's called Dirt, and it's
Dirt.
about Motley Crue's, kind of career.
I never really got into Motley Crue.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, Motley Crue is a legendary band.
The only song I really know
They
from
were were actually rock stars.
the only song I really know from them is "Kickstart My Heart."
Kickstart Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, bro. Bro, I'm telling you, Motley Crue, there's Motley Crue, and then there's like Ozzy. All those guys actually made what is considered to be a rock star. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Just
Ronnie Dio.
just like their whole, like, just everything. Just going on tour, bunch of girls, bunch of booze, bunch of drugs, just parties all the
A
time.
bunch of women.
Yeah.
You know.
Sometimes potentially violence.
But yes.
Sometimes potentially overdoses.
I mean, if you go back, like I said, I've read Ozzy Osbourne's autobiography, and that's some crazy ass shit.
Really?
So yeah,
He made a whole book
he made a whole book
about his life.
Man, you gotta go and read that.
I haven't read it. I never knew about that.
Wow, man.
I really want to read more autobiographies. I just read Thomas Jefferson's. Just got done with that one.
Thomas Jefferson.
And I'm getting close to getting done with Helen Keller's.
Yeah, that Helen Keller's is a good one. I've read it several times.
Yeah, that is a very good book.
Yeah. But Ozzy's book is good. And So Ozzy, when he first started going solo, he was going on tour with Motley Crue.
Yeah, that's what made me think about whenever you said Ozzy, it made me think about the movie with Motley Crue called Dirt. Or about Motley Crue, it's called Dirt, and it's got Ozzy featured in it. Not actual Ozzy, but a guy playing Ozzy, and he snorted a line of ants.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like he
literally snorted
this
a line of
crazy
ants.
bastard would wake up. He woke up in the middle of a 12-lane road.
Yeah, Ozzy is crazy.
He's he
stupid, messed up all the
back
time.
Then, like he was.
Yeah, especially back then, he was infamous for biting a bat's
head off.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's insane, bro.
He said somebody just threw the bat on stage because he was like he bit a chicken's head off, and then people started throwing rubber bats and stuff on stage, and then somebody threw a real bat, and he, wasn't even thinking.
Without further ado,
without thinking about it, he just
grabbed it and bit
his head off.
That's insane, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's like next level entertainment.
He had to get a bunch of stuff done because of that.
Man,
I don't see how he's survived some of the stuff he's done. That's how crazy. Yeah, that's how crazy he was.
He was pretty crazy. There was a bunch of people, like entertainers, big time entertainers. They're like known for being insane, like good ones. I don't know how you would scale that. I just say good ones by the ones that is the most entertaining. Like probably Ozzy back in the day, definitely Motley Crue back in the day,
definitely Ozzy back.
They said, well, Motley Crue, bro. I'm really think that Motley Crue was bigger than Ozzy.
Motley Crue were pretty crazy.
Motley Crue was insane. They was like the ones infamous for throwing TVs out of the window of their off the balconies of their hotel rooms.
Yeah, I never understood why rock stars would do that.
Yeah, or just smashing guitars,
smashing TVs, throwing them out the window, knowing that somebody's poor mom's gonna have to come,
or it might hit somebody's poor mom,
or it might hit somebody, or hit a kid, or something like that, or hit a car, oncoming traffic going down the road.
Hit a person in general.
Bastards.
Inconsiderate bastards.
Inconsiderate mutt bastards.
They were just trying to have a crazy time.
Yeah.
Just all destroying stuff.
All in the name of getting drugged up.
Yeah, they would get drugged up. They would get diseases. They would catch diseases from just going out
screwing
with a bunch of women. Yes. I mean, NWA, there was Eazy-E.
Yes, Eazy-E, he got AIDS.
Yes. Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of different people out there that, like, OD'd, definitely. Juice WRLD here recently.
Yeah, rest in peace, Juice WRLD.
Rest in peace. Who was that other guy? Lil Peep. Lil Peep. And then, of course, all the violence that may come along with it. I think of, like...
yeah, man.
Like XXXTentacion. You ever listen to any of his music?
Yeah, I never got into him a lot, but I did listen to some of his music, and...
Yeah, I think you should.
Like, one of the things with his albums I like that he always did was that he would be like, this is basically your warning. You were about to go into my mind.
What do you mean?
Like, when he does his intros,
yeah,
he's like his first two albums.
I know on that one, I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, I think he's just very versatile. I think that he was a really, really good artist. And I don't think that he was, I used to think that he was overrated, but then after like listening to all of his music, he's really not overrated. He was a really good artist, and he was very versatile, and he was able to do a bunch of different things and a bunch of different styles. He was just an all-around good artist.
Yeah, man.
He wasn't just a good rapper. He could sing very good, too.
Rest in peace, XXX.
Rest in peace, XX. And, I mean, same thing with Juice WRLD, too, because Juice WRLD was a very good freestyler. He used to freestyle very well.
He freestyled Eminem's songs, and then Eminem got word of it.
Well, he freestyled on his beats.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the crazy thing about Juice WRLD. What's so wild about him is that he really freestyled off the dome, because most of the time freestyles like he did, they was rehearsed beforehand. So the artists were given the beats before they would come onto the show, and then they would write something to the beats and then practice it, and then whenever they got onto the show, they could do it. And I've heard instances where there was a couple different times where they would mess up, and then they would have to take several different takes of the freestyle and interview.
Right.
Because they would mess up. But I think that, most people couldn't freestyle like that.
No.
You ever heard of Tory Lanez?
Yes.
Tory Lanez is a phenomenal freestyler too. Yeah, he's very good.
Tory Lanez, yeah.
I think that I don't know if he's like Juice WRLD in the sense that he does all the stuff like just fresh off of his head, but he's another good example of just like an all around good rapper, an underrated rapper.
Yeah, Joyner Lucas. I really like Joyner Lucas's stuff. It's his new album was really good.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but I do respect the craft, and he is very good at what he does.
I liked it because it was something. First off, it was something new. Second off, when ADHD came out, we already had half of the songs for the album, so it didn't really make an impact. So this one. I was just glad I was able to just sit down and listen to a Joyner Lucas album.
Well, that's how they do it in the music industry. They release a bunch of different songs like that, and then they'll put it on the album as well.
Right.
And then sometimes they'll release multiple different versions of those songs, sometimes with the same song on like an EP or something like that, because it spikes their sales. So that's why they do the deluxe stuff too. So that whenever you're listening to one album, you listen to the one album, you get familiar with it, you like it, and then the deluxe album comes out, then you're like, okay, well, I like the first album, so I'm just going to download this whole album, the deluxe album. So now you got 2 albums downloaded, and you listen to all of them, plus the new songs on there. So then you're going to, you're going to continue to listen to it whenever you put shuffle on your phone, and it plays it. But that's a big thing in selling records too. Even back in the day, they could have. It's very popular more in like the early 2000s.
Very much so.
Because they would release an album and then later on, and even in the late 2000s, and they still do it like that to this day.
Yeah,
some people will release an album and then they'll release a deluxe album, but which is the same exact album, but it's got a few more songs. Yeah, it's got like 2 or 3 or 4 more songs.
And some deluxe editions will have remixes. And a lot of the times, I just never did care for remixes, so a lot of the times I'll just skip those deluxe editions. But if there's a deluxe edition that's got like Eminem's Death of Slim Shady deluxe edition, I
haven't heard you talk about it.
I know, because I mean,
you just didn't care for
first off, we'd heard the songs, 2 of the songs that he didn't put out officially digitally or nothing. I'd already heard them on YouTube, and then it was just that Fuel remix.
Yeah.
And then, it didn't really grab my attention like that.
That's the same thing with that Juice WRLD. With all the new Juice WRLD's new music that they release. I mean, it's all old music, but a lot of it was, in circulation before it was released. Like the unreleased versions was circulating before it got released. where somebody he had may have sent it. The artist may have sent it to somebody that they're close to, and then they may have sent it to their buddies, and then they sent it around.
They might have messed with it,
or maybe even not. Maybe not have messed with it. A lot of the times, whenever it was Juice WRLD, he has so much unreleased music, but the label has ownership of the music, or whoever he was signed to at the time has ownership of the music, and then they don't get any sort of benefit from it.
Right.
So
the music industry is shady like that, man.
Low key. Actually, high key now.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot of that stuff's coming out now. With,
it's coming out so
with Diddy.
bad. With Diddy.
With Diddy, yep.
Yeah, Diddy, and who knows how?
Who knows?
Who knows how many other rappers, or look at Jay Prince. Rap a lot.
Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with Jay Prince.
He's probably done a lot of crazy shit.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't really know Jay Prince. I've just heard of him.
I mean, he's one of the most feared people in.
One of the most feared.
Yeah, he's done some crazy shit too. Him and Ghetto Boys, they.
Ghetto Boys.
Ghetto Boys.
It's the Ghetto Boys. The Ghetto Boys.
I gotta hook you on some Ghetto Boys, bro.
Heck yeah. Shoot yeah. Crap yeah, brother.
So, did you listen to those 3 Days Grace albums?
Unfortunately, I did not. Dang. I seen that you sent them, but I never got the chance to click on them and listen to them fully.
Okay, so
I know some of the music because I've seen those albums before. I'm very in tune to remembering albums based on their album covers.
Album covers,
yeah. That's how I remember most of the albums that come out. So if I've seen it, then most of the time I've heard of the music in there. But if I haven't seen it, then I haven't heard it, or I'm not as familiar with it.
Right.
So I haven't. Based off of what you sent me, the only one that I listened to for sure was like, let's take a gander. What was that one with all the it's like white. It's like paper mache. Let me get a good view on the camera here. 1X.
1X. That's a good album. That's a good
like
album.
Riot. I 100% know Riot.
Let's start a riot.
Yeah, that's like one of their most popular songs.
Yeah. Never Too Late.
If not the most
Pain.
popular. Yeah.
Animal I've Become.
But what was you going to tell me about 3 Days Grace?
So, okay, in 2012, their original vocalist, Adam Gontier, left the band because of personal demons, we should say. And Matt Walst from My Darkest Days took over.
From who?
My Darkest Days.
From Your Darkest Days?
No, that's the name of the
Darkest
No,
Days.
My Darkest Days. That's the name of the band.
Oh, okay. Go on.
Okay. Have you ever heard of the song Porn Star Dancing?
Yes. Actually, I think that I have.
Okay. That's them.
Oh. Okay. Heck yeah. I got you.
Oh, man.
So who was he in that band? What did he do?
Matt Walst. He was.
I keep on thinking you're saying Matt Walsh.
Matt Walst. He did vocals for that band as well.
No, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
So,
be cool.
He joined in about 2013 or 14 or something around there.
What was he doing? For 3 Days
3 Days Grace. He did vocals.
Really?
Yeah.
So is it just one lead singer?
Yeah, so
Who was the lead singer beforehand?
Adam Gontier.
Well, what happened to him?
I just told you, personal demons. He had to leave the band because out of control.
I knew that you
drinking
said
and
that.
stuff.
Oh, but I didn't know it was like. I didn't know like what exactly you was implying by that. Like what exactly happened. So he just left because of that, because he was dealing with personal things.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So he just announced that 3 Days Grace just announced that Adam Gontier was going to be returning to the band.
Wow.
And Matt Walsh is also going to be a part of this.
Whoa, how is that gonna work?
Yeah, I'm honestly
curious to see how this goes down.
How this goes down. I really am.
I really am.
I grew up with 3 Days Grace, man. I grew up with that band just playing on Mama's
never
radio
knew
all
them.
the time. Yeah,
You knew them?
I knew their music. Yes.
Oh, you didn't know them personally?
No. I wish. I
Damn.
wish.
You wish you knew them personally?
Yes.
What if they aren't cool in person?
They seem like a bunch of cool guys.
Seem like a bunch of cool cats, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
No. I guess so. I don't know. I don't know them. Who would you hang out with if you could pick one band to hang out with? Judas Priest. Is that what you're going to say? Judas Priest is your favorite band, ain't it?
Yeah, but that wouldn't be my top band.
Huh? You said that's your favorite band, but that wouldn't be your top band to hang out with?
I just Machine Head.
You would hang out with Machine Head?
Yes.
So what is
Very
your favorite
much so.
band?
Well,
it's not Judas Priest?
Judas Priest and Machine Head's my favorite.
Your
metal
two favorite
bands,
bands. Well, just favorite bands in general. Not just metal. But you're just talking about in general.
Judas Priest, Machine Head.
Not Motley Crue.
Not Motley Crue.
You said that you didn't like Motley Crue.
Well, I didn't say I didn't like them. I just never got into them.
Oh, yeah. That's actually what you said, literally.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was you going to say?
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh, yeah.
John Fogerty.
That's a very
John
good
Fogerty.
band.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a very good band.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a good question, man.
You've never thought about that before, have you? So that's who you think is one of your favorites? Who the hell is calling you? It's your mama.
Hold on, let's
Tell her she's on the podcast.
You're on the podcast. Speak your piece or forever hold it.
What's up, everybody on the podcast?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up, Buttercup? Huh?
Y'all have fun.
We will, Mama.
Okay. Peace. Call me when you're done.
All right.
All
we
right.
love you.
Love y'all.
Bye, love you.
Love you. Smooches.
I love you, Mama.
That's so sweet.
She's a good mama.
So you don't know your favorite band?
I know I do.
What's
know
your
my
mama's favorite band? Wait, you do know your favorite band?
Sublime. My mama's favorite band, Sublime.
Yeah, but just a second ago you said that you didn't know your favorite band, and then you just said that you do know your favorite band.
Yeah, I did say I did.
You said Judas Priest and Machine Head is your favorite metal bands, and then you said Clearwater Creedence.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's your favorite band? And you didn't really answer.
Yes, that's another
Hands
one of my
down,
favorites.
that's
Yes.
your favorite band. That's one. You just said that's one of your favorites. Top all-time favorite band. 3, 2, 1, go.
Judas Priest.
Oh.
And the reason I'm saying that is because there isn't many bands that can still be going for 50 years and still be putting out the quality of music that they're putting out. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of bands that, even like when they crop up on their 40s, they're just not as interesting as they was back in the day.
It's not as good as they once was.
Yeah. Metallica.
Metallica.
their new album's good, but I honestly like their first 4 albums better than
I
any of
agree.
them.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that.
Everything up to Justice, for me, Master
Justice
of
for
Puppets,
All?
Yeah,
You didn't like Justice for All?
I did.
Oh, okay, I was about
I
to
said
say.
everything up until Justice. The Black
Yeah.
Album,
That was pretty good.
the Black Album's all right.
With like Holier Than Thou, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't care for it as much as say something like Master of Puppets. And that's my
Master of
honest
Puppets is
opinion. It's like
good.
Master of Puppets and Ride the Lightning are my favorite Metallica records.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I like Metallica too. I do like Metallica. I don't
like Metallica as much as some people do. Like some
Yeah.
people just
A lot of people are
Metallica
all the
and they go
time all
crazy.
about Metallica. Yeah.
And
I
I'm
know
like,
those guys.
I understand. Like I know
I get it. I like Metallica too.
There's bands I'll stand behind that a lot of people just wouldn't give a crap about to
like Judas Priest.
Well, Judas Priest has kind of earned it. Like even now, they got a pretty big following.
Yeah. They kind of earned it.
Right.
I don't know. Metallica's earned it too.
Yeah, they have.
Come on, man.
I mean, but
You're
okay.
biased. You're biased to Judas Priest, ain't you?
No, it has nothing to do with being biased
Skyler.
with Judas Priest. Okay.
Okay.
Listen, dude.
I'm listening.
Okay, so I'm basing it off of good albums, okay?
Uh-huh.
So the first 5 Metallica albums are straight classics.
Yeah.
Load and Reload. This is where, the songs were good, but it just wasn't.
It just wasn't how
Metallica.
It wasn't well.
And there were some, like I said, there were some good songs, but then we get to Saint Anger.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not as familiar with their new stuff.
Saint Anger.
I'm not as
Just
familiar
the
with any
drum
of that.
sounds on Saint Anger. I felt like if the snare wouldn't have sounded like a hollow can or something, or a hollow bucket.
It wasn't as aggressive. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. The songs was, but the drums just made it sound hollow. The snare just didn't even sound like a friggin' snare.
I see what you're saying. See, I'm not as familiar with those newer albums.
And I feel like honestly, if they would have done something more, done something with the snare,
yeah,
people would have been able to enjoy those songs more, because all around that was a pretty good album if it was done right.
Yeah, if it was done right, and only if.
Death Magnetic was, that's where they started to get back up. Hardwired to Self-Destruct.
I'm familiar with that one a little bit.
That's a good album.
Yeah. Well, the point that I was trying to say
72
is that
Seasons.
Even though I'm not as familiar with the newer Metallica albums,
right?
Whereas Judas Priest, I'm not familiar with barely any of their songs. I probably know like 1 or 2 songs. Whereas Metallica, I know, like you said, the first 5 albums. I know those albums.
Okay, so
that's what I'm saying for me personally. The difference between Metallica and Judas Priest, and I think that fits around for like most people, is that most people know more Metallica songs than they know Judas Priest songs.
Oh no, man!
You don't think so?
Because Rob Halford has said, like, and I'm talking from a fan perspective, and it was cool to see a really famous band going ham in the crowd of a Judas Priest show. So no Judas Priest, no Metallica. Metallica has even played some Judas Priest songs live. Like they know, Judas Priest started way before Metallica did. So,
well, I'm not saying that either one of them's bad.
I know you're not saying. I know what you're saying, dude.
I'm just saying that Metallica turned out to be more. I think I do truly still believe that Metallica turned out to be more popular than Judas Priest.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that's what I was saying. I'm not saying that either one of them is better than the other because
I know what you're saying.
Dude. That's just my personal opinion.
I mean, as far as hard rock goes, yeah.
I'm speaking in terms of like albums sold or just popularity in general, like the number of people at their concerts on just like a consistent basis or whatever. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that one of them's better than the other.
I get what you're saying, dude. And
I personally don't really. I'm not a big rock fan or metal fan in general. I just got into it. I just got into it because I like the sound. I like the fact that it was different than most of your music, like most of your just basic rock music. Yeah, man, I've been getting
into hard rock, heavy, a little bit of heavy metal. I don't like all forms of heavy metal. There's some that you'll just skip over. Yeah, I don't get into it.
You just don't like it.
I don't get into a lot of death metal.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some bands I can make exceptions for, but
some of it's just too much.
Definitely not into black metal.
Yeah, super insane stuff. Yeah. Well, what is Behemoth?
But
both. It's black death metal.
But it's like okay. So. There's different types of metal that what I mean, like I said, I can make certain exceptions for certain bands that are just insanely good at making just
anything
good quality projects. So
amen.
I
got respect for them.
There's like the same thing with hard rock bands. It's just like some of them. Like I'm not getting into some of these newer hard rock bands as much as I was getting into stuff from the early 2000s.
I don't
90s.
know any hard rock bands, like new hard rock bands. I don't know any. Do you?
Not real. I mean, I've heard of a few, like Sleep Token.
I haven't heard of any of that. I haven't heard of no new rock bands
because
at all.
Because I mean,
I
they're
think
getting popular, but. Back in the 2000s, these guys were just coming up with hit after hit after hit. And you had at least had to hear it somewhere.
Most definitely. Well, the thing is that
it's
now
it's starting to get oversaturated.
Well, there's like a in every whenever the culture shifts, it'll go to a different genre of music.
Right.
So
back in those days, rock and roll was still hard rock was still outlaw.
Most definitely, because there was the 80s hair bands. Those was going crazy. Back in the 80s, 90s, and then rock was still around.
The 90s
Nirvana and stuff like that.
The 90s stuff started, rock started to get more harder.
Yeah.
And, you started hearing Nirvana, and
then rap starts to get more popular.
Rap starts to get more popular, violence.
This is
Rodney King stuff, and then
this is whenever I think that the culture shifts through the late 90s.
Yeah,
it starts to just then roll over to more of the rap culture, more hip hop.
Right, and then so as far as the rock, hard rock goes, like they go. It was still more outlaw. You talk about Woodstock 99. That was a huge, just dumpster fire.
Yeah, well, as the culture grows too, and as music in general grow, there starts to become an evolution of the music too.
Right.
As a whole. And some of the music starts to bleed off into it's more it starts to bleed off into it's more what's the best word I know how to put it? More, I don't want to say progressive ends, but I'm talking about more. It starts to bleed off into it's more, god dang, man. It starts to get more wild as it starts to go on. It starts to get to its more extremes. It starts to bleed off into its more extremes.
Nobody starts talking about it.
Yeah, well, then that's whenever the art in it starts to kind of fade away, because nowadays in rap, the art in it isn't measured to the extent that it was.
No, definitely not.
In the early 2000s and the late 90s.
Definitely
now not. It's kind of like on its extreme ends. The more popular ones are to the more of extreme ends. So now I think that it's starting to kind of roll over into a new culture or a new type of music genre that the culture is going to shift to, where the majority of people will culturally listen to a main genre of music.
Right.
You know, because like we were saying, 80s it was like rock and stuff like that, and then the 90s was more hip hop, R&B. Not the 90s, but it was more rock and starting to be more hip hop, R&B. And then there was, you know, in the 2000s more hip hop and R&B, and then now it's still mostly hip hop. But I think that that's starting to get into a decline.
Very much so. I feel like hip hop. I mean, the older hip hoppers are the ones keeping it alive at this point.
Nah.
I mean, there's some new guys that I'm really impressed with. 42 Doug.
Yeah, 42, I can't believe you know 42 Doug.
Yeah, 42 Doug's good.
Wow.
I heard him.
Yeah, 42 Doug. I
heard
like
him
42
do
Doug.
a freestyle once.
Uh-huh.
And he was going so friggin' fast. I was like, whoa.
42 Doug, bro. The Baby is good too.
Yeah, the Baby's good.
The Baby's really good.
I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, like the more lyrical and more, you know, artistic rappers.
The more you know.
The more artistic rappers are going to be the ones that carry this thing forward.
Yeah, to an extent. I say too. I think that it's more of the more creative ones. That's the way mixed. I think the more creative ones mixed with the more popular flows and more popular upbeat type of type of beats. I think that those will thrive a little bit. I think those will thrive more.
Right.
But whenever we're speaking in terms of like longevity, not that many albums that release out nowadays are built for longevity purposes. It's
Definitely.
Built for just like in the moment, and they know that people are just going to listen to the music and then for like a week or so and then move on. And then they don't make the albums as good because there's so much music circulating and so many people are listening to so many different things that it's kind of hard to grab for people's attention now, because it's not like it was whenever you had to be really, really good in order, or know somebody and be somewhat all right and know a few people that is in the music industry in order to land yourself a record deal in order to get out there. Nowadays, anybody can do it.
That's the problem nowadays.
It's kind of a problem. I think that it kind of is, to the extent that somebody that's not as good and not taking it professionally, not doing it in a professional manner and not taking it seriously can hop on the platform. I don't think that should be the case. I think that there should be a quality. There has to be some sort of quality control.
Exactly.
And I think that there should be quality limits in order for people to post it on a professional platform.
Definitely.
I think that
Because
should be the case, but that's not the case. So then now
too many people,
anybody, it's not special anymore to be
No.
able to be on a certain platform, whereas it used to be, you know, you had to be somebody of really great importance or perceived importance in order to be able to do anything, and now anybody can do anything. And I mean, it can be perceived as a good thing, and I understand that, but it can also be a bad thing too, because you get less qualified individuals into a space, and then it kind of drowns out all the people that are qualified to do those things.
Right. I mean, for example, I can tell you the first time I heard Biggie. I can tell you the first time I heard Pac.
Yeah.
I can tell you the first time I heard Eminem. I can tell you, you know, all these artists.
It was much harder for them
It
to
was
be able to
much
be
harder for
seen
them to
and
be
heard.
seen and heard. So when they did, and they finally made it, they were, you know, they made some pretty good albums.
Yeah.
So, you know, Biggie, I remember, you know, my mama had part 1 of the Ready to Die album. Or not Ready to Die, Life After Death.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing it for the first time, and it blew my mind.
It blew your mind.
I mean, I didn't know what to make of it.
Biggie Smalls.
I didn't know what to make of it at the time, but I knew that there was something special there.
Yeah, it was
You know what
something
I'm saying?
different.
It was something
different.
It was definitely something different. And, you know, same thing when I heard the Cross movement. You know, that was like a lot of Christian rap bands. They just
wasn't as good.
They're going with this trap trend, and it's just, I don't know. I never got into a lot of trap like that. So, you know, I mean, some I do. You know, Lecrae's good at it.
Lecrae.
Shout out
I'm
Lecrae.
familiar with Lecrae.
And then NF, like I wouldn't exactly call him a Christian rapper, but NF really helped me through some tough times.
Shout out NF, I guess. I mean, I respect his craft. I will say that I respect anybody that's, you know, dedicated to art like that, but at the same time, I personally don't like NF because just I couldn't tell you why. You know, there's a bunch of different artists out there that are really good artists, and you know, like Joyner Lucas. Like, I couldn't tell you why I don't like him, but every time that I hear him, I just don't want to hear him anymore.
Right.
And that's not for any specific reason. It's just strictly opinionated.
Well, I think a lot of it is just, you know,
because he's a good rapper.
Let You Down. I remember they used to play Let You Down all the time on the radio, and it used to get so boring. It's like, okay, do I even want to listen to that song right now?
Yeah. I hope
when I was going through the album, I'd be like, I've heard this so many times.
Yeah, you ever think doing this podcast, you're thinking like, you know, do these people still want to listen to us?
Definitely, man. I mean, I'm always trying to challenge myself to do something that I haven't done before.
Let's do the podcast upside down one day.
Yeah. Let's just hang ourselves upside down and
then do the podcast.
Hold the mic and try to hold the mic still.
We're going to see how that goes.
Yeah.
I actually want to see how that goes.
Yeah.
We're going to do that in the next episode.
Yeah.
We can wrap it up, Skyler.
So, I hope everybody's been enjoying this.
I hope so, too. I hope everybody has been enjoying this. I hope you've been enjoying Skyler Jarvis.
We got up to 61 subscribers.
Shout out to the 61 subscribers.
Carson, you're something else.
I'm going insane.
Yeah. So thank you for everybody that subscribed to the channel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you so much.
And we really hope you've been enjoying Skyler Jarvis Media.
We really do hope so.
We hope to be doing some really big stuff.
We really
here
hope
in the next few weeks, man.
Shout out to Skyler Jarvis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna be
coming
after
you.
We're gonna be doing a vlog, a day in the life of Skyler Jarvis. Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
So we're gonna drop some sneak peeks when we get it done.
We're gonna do something.
You know, so y'all can get
So, you know,
ready.
find out
So y'all can find out, get ready,
and tap out.
and then when the video comes,
We're gonna
you
come
can
after
just,
you.
Yeah, we're gonna come after you and make sure you watch it.
And we won't have a choice but to watch
You
it.
won't have a choice. You won't have a choice.
Shout out.
Shout out.
This is Skyler Jarvis.
And this is Barson.
And I'm Barson.
This is Skyler Jarvis.
Yeah, signing off.
Ladies and gentlemen, Skyler has left the building. Hey, Bird, don't you want to say anything?